Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is the Live and Strive podcast with me, your host, Jebro, and I am going to be interviewing some SPVP teams weekly. And this week, I have with me the kind gentleman from the team Boon. I have Sensitix. Hello, Sensitix. How are you?
Hello. I'm doing fine. How are you?
You have to mute your Skype, I think, as well. Sorry, guys. I did forget. We restarted the call. I forgot to tell you that. But you're good, yes?
I'm fine, yeah.
Awesome. Good man, good man. Venturi, how are you?
Yeah, fine as well. Thanks.
Almost thought it was the same person. Fake, and how are you, sir?
Yeah.
Good?
I'm fine, thank you.
Fake is so polite. I can't get over how polite Fake is. It's awesome. Awesome. So, I am glad you guys are good. We don't have Emperor this evening. He is currently absent. And we'll find out about your fifth as I go through our kind of questions. So, the first question I have, I'm just going to bash straight into it, is how did your team come together? How did Boon get together? Did someone start it off? Did you just come together randomly? I don't know who wants to start.
So yeah, I guess Ventari and me, we have been playing with Trolling for Life for like, I think 1 year. And we have been facing Boon a lot. They were like kind of a team on our level, so we had some really close matches. Then after some time, some guys from Trolling for Life stopped playing. Eventually we parked with Boon. And yeah, that's kind of how it happened. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how did you come into this Fake then? Sorry.
I'm one of the former members of Boon, playing with Emperor since maybe 3 months after the release of Guild Wars 2.
Okay.
And since that, yeah, we always play together, kind of. There were some pauses from my side.
Okay, so a couple of timeouts here and there, and then you guys all just got together in one massive, glorious whole, I guess. That sounds so wrong when I say that.
It's fine.
Good. Okay. Awkward. Right, so that's cool. I mean, you guys, you played quite solidly in the last few ESLs. You actually won the ESL Weekly Cup number 30. And you were in the semi-final against a team called Exaltation. How was that? Because they did really well against you guys. I just wanted to ask how you thought that. Was it quite surprising? Because I haven't heard of them much, but I don't know if you've played against them before.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if we faced him before in Team Q, but to be honest, we weren't really concentrated until we reached the finals. So we really messed things up in this game. Like the Lord Rush was pretty fail. Like we predicted it, but then I don't know. We were too lazy to come back to the base and too lazy to defend, and we were like, oh, this is already won. And yeah, that was completely our fault. We could have won this before already, but yeah. Happened.
It was like, I don't know, we just were like, okay, the first game was alright, then the second game, okay, we can win this. So we were like, okay, let's focus on the finals, because I had some problems as well. So yeah, only Ventari could really hear me, and they could hear me over his headset because we're sitting next to each other. Yeah, so
Right. Okay.
yeah,
So there was a little bit
concentration
of
mistakes.
some fun communication issues, like with TeamSpeak
Yeah.
and Skype. That's true. That's actually quite true. I mean, you guys use TeamSpeak when you're talking in PvP, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, cool. So just I mean, because obviously there will be people that are new to SPVP that kind of watch this. So guys, when you're in an SPVP team, it's really important to have good comms. So, like they say, TeamSpeak is good. Have yourself a good mic, good headset, and stuff, so you can kind of hear each other properly, and also push to talk or whatever. Skype is also okay, but it's a little bit dodgy here and there. It kind of does drop out from time to time. But it's good that you kind of recognise those things, and I guess you try and fix them in the next game when you come to play again. So, what was I going to ask you next? I've got a load of questions for you guys. So Tournament of Legends wasn't too long ago. How did you guys kind of prepare for it? How did you, train? Did you go into arenas? Did you do just team queue? How did you train for it, I guess?
Yeah, Tournament of Legends. It was like 1 month before Fake told us that he will be at the festival. So we already knew that we
Happens
needed at
sometimes.
least one sub. So yeah, we played with 2 subs actually. And we didn't really practice before, so we were like, okay, let's just give it a try and see
Yeah.
how it goes.
And then we had one sub, and in the day of the Tournament of Legends, he just wasn't online, and we
Yeah.
couldn't reach him by no means. So we just got another sub, like in the last 5 minutes before the first game started,
Yeah.
and yeah, that really messed our strategy up. So we could have done better with main team, but anyways.
Of course, they're not bad players, so they're
Yeah,
really
of
good
course.
players. But it's just a big difference if you play with your team for like, say, 4 or 5 months, or if you just play with somebody you park with like and then, yeah, that really makes a difference.
Yeah, that's true. Exactly. So consistency is pretty bloody important. And I'm looking at Fake. Fake, don't worry, you are moving now in the camera. It was still for a second.
Yeah, I was also confused.
You're just looking into nothing.
I think he just wasn't moving.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't actually. So it's true. It's good to have that consistency as a team, you know. So you actually know each other's build, how you play. Because even if it's still someone playing exactly the same build, they might still play differently. I don't know. How was it for you, Fake? How was the Tournament of Legends? Was it good? Did you feel that you were strong, or I don't know?
Well, Tournament of Legends.
Fake wasn't here.
Oh,
Fake
sorry,
wasn't
God!
there.
Oh my
Fake
God!
was-
Oh my God! I'm
He wasn't
thinking
the
of.
best on the
I was
first
thinking
was-
of Ember.
Nah, Ember was
Okay,
here.
that's my bad. That's my bad. Sorry about
No
that.
worries, no
But how did you want to be there? Was it something you were watching from the sidelines and you were thinking, "Oh, I wish I was there," or you
At the
just
festival.
completely didn't?
I wish I would be there, to be honest, but also to be on a metal festival or play in the Tournament of Legends it's a two-sided sword,
Oh
kind of.
God, that's a horrible day. It's
Yeah,
a good day,
a horrible day.
but then a horrible day. Yeah. Oh,
I
nice.
haven't got
And
the
I had
llama
to
finisher.
travel 11 hours with a car back to my home city.
Yeah.
Also on the same day.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He's
Next time
thinking.
I will be there with my team, with those guys.
There you
Okay,
go.
hopefully,
See
yeah.
what we can do there.
See, we've
Yeah,
actually recorded it now. We've got it on tape. Fake said he's going to be there. So
Okay.
I try. If there's no metal festival, I will take it. Okay.
I will take it for granted.
Yeah.
that's fine. That's absolutely so. Yeah, I mean, I was watching a couple of the games back, and you guys did pretty well, but you could tell, you know, that there was something missing. There was that, I don't know, consistency in the team. There seems to be like maybe some miscommunication. Like you said, it happens when you get pugs, and it turns out you kind of had 2 pugs in your team as well. So that kind of explains
Yep.
a lot as well, because especially when I was watching, you know, ESL, and you've got there's 4 of you, you can really tell, you know, I think as well, you guys have kind of evolved as a team as well over the last couple of weeks. You've got a hell of a lot better, because normally you kind of go quite offensive, I noticed. And you've actually pulled back a bit, and you're looking after things like your back point and your close point and things like that. So it's good. And Sensitix, you were a little bugger on Thursday. Oh my god.
PowerPoint.
Oh my god.
But I think it's a huge part that we have, like, we played with more ultras, like Zapdos. Big shout out, by the way.
Yeah.
Because with Ellie, it's possible to defend your close point and to play more defensively than when you play with Mesmer and Thief. You need to go offensively on far point. That's the thing. And with Ellie, or if we play with Ellie, we can just sustain the team fights and have me with a Necro standing back on close. And in the Tournament of Legends, I was nearly forced to play Warrior, and that was a big issue. I mean, Warrior is strong, but I wasn't really used to Warrior, and yeah, but I couldn't play Necro on this team. It wasn't possible with the setup, so that was also a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was the first time we ever played Double Warrior. I think did we play Double Warrior, Spear Ranger, and Thief and Guard?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
something
a
like that.
really
I've
that's
never
a
run this setup
completely
before.
different. Yeah, that's completely different for you guys. Like the complete opposite almost.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm actually need to watch those games again, because that's odd.
Please don't.
I won't.
I won't.
Instant replay. I've got a couple of clips for it. No, I'm joking. It's fine. It's okay. I'm only joking. Yeah, but you know you learn a lesson. That's just not the way your team plays. You're more offensive and stuff. But you also, you know, I think you've learned that you need to be almost maybe even from that team comp you had, that you needed to be a little bit more defensive at times when you're playing so offensive. So it's good that you kind of learn that, learning the hard way, unfortunately, I suppose. But Hey ho.
Yeah, sure.
So the next question I was going to go into, in terms of teams in Guild Wars 2 at the moment, how many teams do you think you've got an actual legitimate, challenge from? Obviously, I know there's like 55 HP monks and there's TCG. And we saw Exaltation played quite well against you guys on the other day as well. Do you think there's any other teams that are coming up that you've been really playing against that are doing quite well?
Like, you want to give it a try?
We got one big problem at this point because at first we are 4 people in our team, Boon, actually, and we are missing a 5th. The second is we are playing 1, maybe 2 times a week, so we are not facing that much teams at all, actually.
Right, so it's the same kind of thing actually that TCG actually mentioned to me last week. They're not actually playing much in Team Q, and I do believe it's the same with 55 HP monks. So what is the reason? So let me kind of readjust the question, I guess. Why aren't you guys playing? Just honestly, I don't mind. It's fine. Just say it's as honest as you want without swearing.
No worries.
The devs are
To be
listening.
honest, it's like of course real life stuff. Since I have a job where I work like usually in afternoon or in the night. Yeah, and also the thing is like whenever we queue, there's like maybe 1 or 2 teams from the top 50 or top 100 queuing, and nobody else. So you're just facing the same team over and over again. Or if you're not facing them, you're not facing any coordinate teams at all. It's usually just Park or guys solo queuing in team queue. So if the player base increases, I'd play Guild Wars more often. And also the reward system got a lot better, but I know there's not really motivation to play because last ESL tournaments, for example, we didn't really practice for it, and I think no team is really practicing. So there we just look like, okay, ESL is today, let's play or not, and then like, okay, we play without even practicing or anything, and then we just see how it goes. Yeah.
And win.
Yeah.
And sometimes.
Yeah, I think, but it was
Depends.
because, to be honest, it was because there weren't that many known teams in the last ESL. But like, we did beat Shard, so it's not impossible. But it's like we lack of practice in the last weeks since we don't really play Team Q anymore. Cause everybody has stuff to do, and Empo plays Dota sometimes. And the thing is, like, I really want to play Team Q, but I want to play versus other top teams. Like Lunchbox increases a lot in the last time.
Proofs.
Sorry,
true.
improved a lot in the last time. So it's really fun playing against them, playing against Shad. Shad is really active in Team Q, I think. But I don't know, we
Not
never
anymore.
faced them in Team Q.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore, but like 1 month ago, they were really active, like playing every day, which was pretty good, so I could practice versus them. And then we have TCG, not really playing Team Q. We never faced them in Team Q. I don't know. I think we faced them once or something.
Yeah.
And
Twice, but that's it.
Yeah.
but then again, we don't have a 5th. I think we cultivate Zapdos for Team Q since he only wants to play versus good teams. I don't want to say that there are only bad teams.
Ezreal.
Huh? Sorry?
That's another
Yeah,
point.
and he wants to play with
definitely
us.
want to play with Ezreal, and we only have 1 spot left.
Yeah, sure. That's another issue.
Anyways,
Like-
if he
And we can't really get another Ellie, and we really want an Ellie for our setup because it works out pretty well, as we have seen in the last ESL.
So you had Blackjack. Was it Blackjack that was playing for you guys?
yes, exactly.
So
He
is he?
played
Go on, sorry.
gone.
No, I was
Good
just
question,
literally.
so-
I think you were going to say probably what I was thinking. Oh, I lost statistics.
Maybe. Well, I was about to say that we are playing with Zapdos now for 3 weeks, for 3 days. You can maybe imagine which 3 days are those. Is a
Oh, it appears we've got something. I think I've just lost Sensitics actually.
might be.
Oh.
To just restart Skype, and it's fine, no problem.
Okay.
You can
no
just go
worries.
on, and
Okay,
while he
we
fixes camera, it's no problem.
We can indeed. So basically, what are you looking for your? So you've said you're looking for mainly an elementalist. Is there another class that could take the place, or does it have to be an Ellie, or could it be anything? I mean, you've got.
Am I back?
You are back,
The
indeed.
first-
You just need to mute your Skype. Sorry.
I don't know. Like we were thinking about maybe Ranger, but I don't know. I think Ellie would be the best to take the place, since the support on Staff Ellie, for example, is pretty huge, and with him in the team fight, we can really out-sustain people and still have enough damage and support. And as a player Necro, I really need the support. And then we have 3 people to support me. We have Sensotics and Pistol with Thief to perma-stun them and immobilize them so I can get away. Then we have Fake on Warrior, either Hembo Warrior or X-Warrior, both pretty good to support me. And then we have Staff Ellie healing me up, removing my condis and all that stuff. Like putting some barriers in the way. So I can really play well with Ellie in the team fight or in 2v2s. So I don't know if there is any other class to be as good as Ellie in our team.
Yeah,
So
it's
we're
true.
just looking for Ellie at the moment.
It's true. I mean, Ellie seems to be like a main fixture for teams at the moment. Like everyone's switching in Ellie. It's like someone's changing for Ellie. Like mostly, I think Rangers maybe, or like maybe not Warrior, but mainly Rangers. I think Rangers are falling a little bit by the wayside at the moment, unfortunately for them. But hey ho, maybe that'll kind of happen soon.
I think that's because all the nearly every Ranger I know has played Ellie before Ellie got really weak, and
That's
then
true.
they all rerolled to Ranger and then another reroll back. And I don't think Ellie's so super strong like another OP class or something, but it has a surprise factor because all the people we learn to play versus Spirit Range, we learn to play versus Sword Dagger Thief, and we aren't really used to play versus Ellie, and that's the main factor. Because how many people know the exact rotation of a Staff Ellie? I have really troubles with Staff Ellie on point and stuff, only because I haven't played Staff Ellie.
I know
just know
rotation
some
of
of the
Dagger
skills,
Dagger.
but still.
Dagger's easy.
Yeah.
Staff is more.
One.
I don't know. Staff
But still,
is
there is a
more-
difference. It's like with Hembo. You can really face roll people, but there is always a difference. I can beat most Dagger Ellies, but there are some good Dagger Ellies that give me some trouble on point. So there is always a difference. But yeah, it's the thing.
So if you've got you've got a team fight and say there's you 3 guys as you 3 are here, might as well be you 3. There's you 3 and you're against say an Ellie, a Guardian, and a Necro. How do you take for example? How would you take those 3 down with the 3 of you in that situation? What
The thing is,
Necro first target, easy.
No, the thing is like having Warrior, was Warrior, Thief, and Necro against Guardian, Staff Ellie, and
you wouldn't be in that
don't really have to
matchup.
sustain that they have.
Yeah,
If they play it right and position themselves well, they should actually
win.
be able to out-sustain us. Maybe we can, if we get a nice kind of condition and hybrid burst with the pistol Necro, then corrupt Boon the Guardian or something, then it's possible to win this. As I myself as Thief, I shouldn't really be in such a 3 versus 3.
Yeah.
I'd have a Guardian there, but I usually would focus the Necromancer and have the Warrior pressure the Ellie or something. If they go out of range, just pressure the Guardian a little bit so that he uses cooldowns.
I think
I don't know.
I think I'm just hearing you a little bit through Ventari's mic sometimes, so it's a bit echoey. So
Oh, sorry.
it's all right. When Six talks, Ventari, just kind of put your hand over the mic or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It just helps because otherwise I've got so much sensitivities. I'm sure everyone doesn't mind that too much, but sometimes it
Lot of
can be too
sensitivities.
much.
Yeah, that's also the thing when we are playing as a team. Like sometimes we just get a huge echo, and
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
it works.
it.
So yeah,
It's all about
But
you got
it's-
to adjust that sensitivity, man. Just that
yeah,
sensitivity.
we have tried so many things.
There we go. I'm an audio guy. We can talk about that after. I can maybe help you. But so yeah, I think the main point that you said there was also something which I was kind of hoping you would say, that you wouldn't get into that situation maybe in that matchup. In that situation anyway, you wouldn't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
Because
And to be
like you
honest,
said, there'd be a lot of healing, so you'd be screwed.
but to be honest, like we would try to move our guardian in the fight, and normally our guardian would be in this fight as well, since he moves with their guardian, like every bad guardian should. And if we don't get Empa in this fight, we can just try to 2 versus 3 them, since the guardian doesn't do any damage to us. And I think they won't deal too much damage with Necro. Only if the Necro is under pressure, we can just 2v3 them, like just hold them, not really win, but just hold and survive. And maybe get the Necrodon, I don't know. With Boon, maybe safe stomping, like fear the guardian away,
Or
and then
steal.
safe stomping with, removing stability and stuff. And Senso would try to get other points in the meantime, so we outnumber them on other points. But in the 3 versus 3 matchup, I think it would be really hard, but
You give
depends
it a
on the
bash,
enemies,
yeah.
of course.
Or would you withdraw? Would you actually just think, oh, this is a bad situation to be? Is that a situation where you would actually pull out, or would you literally just try and go for it?
Depends a lot on the other points. Like if we are winning on the other points, we would definitely pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if it's like on Legacy and we have both other points and we just pressure mid and it comes to the 3 versus 3, we would just disengage, I think. If we have both other points safe. Or we just move the Guardian in there and fake, or I don't know, Ellie or something, just to bunker and have our damage dealers on the other points to secure the points. And it always also depends on the lead. If we have a nice lead, we can easily lose a point. And if we need a triple cap, of course we would go for the 3 versus 3, but it's still still hard, I
It's
think.
quite risky, yeah. It's quite risky. And you get it's kind of that's desperate times, isn't it? I guess last ditch effort to kind of come back. Okay, cool. I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that fake at all.
It's fine overall,
Awesome.
I'd say.
Good stuff. I was a bit paranoid that you weren't there because your cam's gone still, and I was thinking I wasn't in having a look at turns.
Also, it's not just
I'm
me.
still
Okay.
too.
Either that or he's in one of those stair modes again. That's scary. That's quite scary.
But the picture is fine. Let's keep it.
It's fine. You look fine. You look fine. Right, so I'm going to go on to the next question. Guys in chat on Twitch, if you have any questions for these guys, please put them in chat. I do have more questions to ask, but of course, you're here as well, and it would be good to get some audience participation, and I will just repeat your question, and we'll just go from there. So what I will ask next is, okay, so you're in like Forest of Niflhel or whatever. You're about to go into the map. You've got 10 seconds to go. Who is the first person who's normally speaking? Do you guys talk as a team when you come out into the map, or is someone mainly guiding the whole group? Is there kind of a leader almost?
Well, usually it's like when we go to Forest, that Forest is not really a good example, but let's say Legacy, for example.
Yeah.
I'm usually just checking the map, and Fake is checking the map as well. Let's say far and mid.
Mm-hmm.
Then we call numbers together, and then we see how we move. Yeah, there's nothing like we try to have the tactic before the match usually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then we just check numbers and see how we can move, and like if somebody is crossing self or something, so we can hold them or delay them. Yeah, it's pretty much like team orientated at the start, and then we have like sometimes it's me not really calling tactics, but saying what I will do and saying who I need where.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it's just everybody. Like for example, if Fake needs me, duel or in a 2-1 or something, he just calls and I'm coming. Or if Ventari needs me, or it's just I don't know, it's just off calls. Yeah.
Like most of the time, it's like Sensot's outpoint as other point coordinator, and I'm in the team fight, and I try to coordinate the team fight with Empa, because most of the time we end up in a 2 versus 2 with Empa, me and Empa, and then Fake joins sometimes or Sensotics. So we try to, I try to coordinate the team fight, say who is low and stuff, but like everybody gives the part, and Fake normally like has a good overview of the whole map and stuff, so he tells us how many guys he has on his point and how many guys are on mid and stuff. So it's pretty good. I think we really work well as a team, since everybody knows what to do and we help each other out. So I really like that.
Awesome. So it is pretty much a coordinated. Wow, can't speak. Effort really as well between Sensitive. It's you and Fake as well, like Sensitive said at the beginning. But then he kind of evolves as you go through the map, and you're always talking and whatnot. Is that kind of right, Fake?
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone is talking, especially when it comes to the classes and the numbers on the map, to know exactly in every moment where for example, where's the Guardian, where's the Thief, how you have to move on the map to outrun them to win the fights, and that's exactly what between us four we have a synergy. It works very well because we have the kind of same mindset.
Yeah.
Also the same language.
Also same language, yes.
Ah, you all speak the same language. Okay, right.
Ooh, not only English, yes, we are
No, that's good though.
German-speaking team.
That's good. So you.
The next thing is like normally Fake is a really calm player, like really patient and like not really talking that loud, and like as you can see now, Emperor as well. And normally it's me like being heavily under pressure because I'm the Necro, and then I get really, I don't know, like nervous and angry sometimes. Yeah, energetic. Let's take it like that. And then we have Fake and Emperor like saying, okay, it's fine. We have this.
Oh, wow,
I can support you. I can heal you up. It's no problem.
So Ventari is the
works out.
angry one in the team.
I wouldn't say angry. It's just like, I really want to win, like especially in ESL.
Yeah.
And then if there are some common mistakes we make sometimes, and if I see that we make the mistake again, I'm getting really nervous, and I don't really like, as a Necro, I don't really get like safe stomped out when we have 3 guys around me. That's like a huge issue, and whenever it happens, I get really mad because it's so easy to res me up versus one guy who is safe stomping me normally, and that's just as an example. But in the last time it worked out really well, to be honest. So nothing to complain about.
So not I guess the guys can see your picture, but knowing I don't know if you wanted them to know this, but Sensitix and Ventari are actually twin brothers. So it must be it must be issues of being brothers on the same team. How is that? Is it okay? Do you have little squabbles from time to time? I mean, it's fine. It's fair enough. I've got a brother as well, and I'm 32. I still have arguments with him. I just don't play SPVP with him.
Sometimes it's really helpful because, like, since we're sitting next to each other, I can check his screen, see exactly where he is, and exactly what cooldowns he has. I know how I can support him. Sometimes it's just like he's talking, I'm talking, and we get the echo over TeamSpeak or like whatever. I don't know. Sometimes, especially like since he's coordinating team fights and I'm usually coordinating myself, maybe one other player of the team, like talking to him, it's alright because we're not really in the same fights usually. So, and if we are like falling like everyone else, difference, except for the fact that I can check out his screen, helpful.
That was a very diplomatic answer. That was good.
He's my brother, I have to love him.
Oh, look at this. I bet Ventari just standing and going, what are you doing? Supposed to look really tough and raw. No, it's fine. It's good. See, look, this is what I want to show people. I want to show the human sides of these people, not just the name and the little tiny Asura person. You can actually see these guys. They are real people.
Nah, I'm Sylvari. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that's true. Ventari is a Sylvari. Oh, that's random. Okay, that's cool. So I don't know. I might ask Fake. Fake, what's it like to play with 2 brothers?
No.
Not in that way. Is it okay? It's fine.
It's fun.
I will give you the 10 euro later. No
There you go.
problem.
He's being good.
Yeah,
He's being good.
exactly.
He's being good. So right, there hasn't been a date actually announced for the next Tournament of Legends, but there is most likely going to be one, probably around June time, which is soon. You know, June, July, summer, sometime around ish now maybe. Tomorrow, who knows? How are you going to? First of all, would you be in it? And second of all, how would you prepare knowing what you went through last time with Tournament of Legends?
Like,
Anyone. Anyone can answer that one.
I think we would just try to get a 5th player first.
Okay, that's a good start.
And maybe...
after that,
Huh?
we have to check the Swift players with the mindset, with the technical, mechanical skills, and how he works with us as a team.
Mm-hmm.
If it fits, we definitely going to try out different tactics on different maps, of course, and also 2v2s, 3v3s, 2v1s, all that stuff. How long can he last, etc. pp. To know each other better.
Ah, that's cool. So you would do you go? Do you get into an arena to do this, or do you just go into open rooms and just find small
Just
numbers?
training, practice as good as you can. With
Just
the people you
private
know,
arena.
with the team, with brands.
Awesome. Oh, that's cool. So that you want to get a lot more practice in, obviously, than last time.
Yep.
Just to be
Person.
completely prepared and stuff. Okay, cool.
Would be better.
Be better, yeah.
And this
Be there
time
and
with
not be
5 people from the team.
And then we have fake, of course.
And then we have fake.
Biggest
Yeah.
difference. And stuff.
Stuff will be there.
That's
Hopefully,
true.
yeah.
Unless
see.
there's some kind of So Grouch, if you are watching or listening to this, or anyone from Guild Wars 2, do not have it on a day when there's a big, massive festival, because the chances are a lot of people from Guild Wars 2 SPVP community won't actually be there. And that's
Maybe.
and and fake might not be there, so it's going to be your fault pretty much. Right, so next question. So I think we talked about it a little bit earlier. It talks about Guild Wars 2 SPVP, how it kind of stands at the moment. But do you see anything being, I don't know, especially with the new April patch, do you see anything being massively OP at the moment? Is there stuff which is just ridiculously overpowered that should just be out of SPVP? Or is everything kind of okay? Or is it just, a little bit of balance tweaking here and there, maybe?
Beck, do you want to go for it? Everyone can say.
I don't think that stuff is OP. It is strong. It's very strong, especially after the last patch. Think back, E wasn't viable for over a year.
What wasn't,
now
sorry?
After that patch, E wasn't viable for over a year before that patch
Okay.
came and just crushed the meta. And look at that. Exactly now we don't have any meta. No. Okay, we have strong builds, strong runes, strong sigils that a lot of people are using right now. But there's no real meta at all.
How good is that?
It is awesome.
I like
like
it.
Awesome, man.
For that, it was an awesome patch
Mm-hmm.
because there's no existing meta at all. But to get back to your question,
It's fine.
Please,
You can talk about whatever you want, man. It's all good. I'm sure you were coming back to it.
that's what I'm doing right now. Thank you.
Good man.
Okay. Yeah, I think the patch with the Celestial made the Elite viable with this stuff because you got tons of AoE combo fields, blast finishers with the Evasive Arcana and the Earth 2, I believe, was it? Also, anyways, the Celestial might stacking with the Pirate Rune and the Battle Sigil, if you're using it or not. Some
Yes.
are doing that, some are not.
That
Rarely these
might
are
stack.
using Battle on stuff.
It's pretty crazy. That might stack in. It's like
crazy.
it's quite a cool rotation as well, because in the rotation you do a lot of damage anyway. And then by the time you've got your might stacks, it's like you've got 10 or 12 max from that rotation, and then that's everyone else is kind of blasting on top of it. So it's nice. I do like it. I'm so glad you mentioned the actual meta as well. But there's not, because I hate the word. I wish I could pick the word up and throw it in the bloody bin. I hate there being this thing where you have to have 5 people playing exactly this build to be a good team.
True. Well, the thing is, at the moment you see some classes that are played very often,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no such thing as, for example, the Ellie. You can still counter that Ellie with, say, Thief outnumbering, or you can outroam him. Usually he's just holding close. like Warrior, for example, can still hold the duel against him or sometimes win a duel against him. There's at the moment there's like no class that I would say is like super OP. That actually makes it a lot more fun to play than before. Let's say Warriors, they were not super OP before the last patch. I mean, after the December patch, it got nerfed a little bit. Especially with the pin down animation. It's way better. It's way better. It's way better to play against Warrior. Also, Necromancer, the nerf made Necromancer pretty balanced, I would say. Same with Thief, the increase on initiative increase on pistol loop, like got. I think the April patch was awesome, really, really awesome. Very good ideas there, and just I hope we don't see builds like, let's say, Third Engineer or something coming, because that's like. I don't want to swear.
It's like my favorite build, man. I love playing Eternal Engineer.
Stop.
It's my fault.
Ouch.
It's my fault. Have you not seen the
my
Torrentier builds out there? They're mine.
Fucking annoying. Come on.
I swore. He swore. That's not good.
Wow.
Oh, fake.
Fake. Honestly, the turret engineers brought it out in you. That's fine. It's okay. You can counter them quite easily. I know how, but I'm not going to tell anyone.
A few months ago, it was the fucking bunker NG, decap NG.
Yeah.
I had to fight them every fucking time on close when they had one. Not again, dude. Not again.
We'll stop talking about engineers because I don't think you can stop swearing when you're talking about that. The
Yeah,
anger
yeah.
is strong in this one.
Big aggression building up now.
Yeah, it's like, do they have a bunker engineer or can we play just normal? We had to rotate our builds. We had to rotate our strategy just for the.
Exactly. So
Really annoying.
doesn't that kind of open it up a bit for that team? Though?
Yeah, it's just really annoying. I don't know.
They are
The
very
spec
annoying.
was completely annoying.
Indeed.
Wouldn't work anymore since ultimate
Yeah.
response got nerfed. They can just, I don't know, with a Necron point, you can't decap him. Like I would fear him out of the point. Maybe he decaps and then I can kill him. There is nothing he could do versus Necro with his build. Maybe Third Engineer. Third Engineer is pretty strong versus Nec, but if you play the old school decap Engineer, it won't work anymore. I'm pretty sure about that.
It doesn't work as well, no. I mean, he's got the quickness with the knockbacks, but it's still not as good as it used to be. But like you said, I think the reason people don't play it is because Necros are pretty much their biggest weakness as well. Like, you would be able to beat it with a Necro. Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it would be annoying as hell, but you'd still do it. You'd still do it in the end. Okay, we'll move off the engineer. I will stop just going on about it otherwise. Right, okay, so I'm coming towards the end of my questions. So anyone in chat that does want to ask a question, you can go for it. I do have some questions still left. I was going to ask kind of generally with SPVP at the moment. I mean, I know you guys said that you're not actually playing as much as in team queues and whatnot. How do you think that ReNet, Guild Wars 2, the community, I don't know, what can they bring in that can make people want to play, you know, like daily 3 or 4 hours a night to actually play with their team? As an example, say, I don't know, prizes, a league table in the game, some kind of gambling system with gold. Is there anything that you guys can think of maybe that would help, that would benefit
Can I take this one?
SPVP?
ahead.
Usually, like, I think the biggest problem is that there is like no motivation. Like, I started playing Dota 1 week ago, just to see how it feels to start playing a new game. And there were so many build guides and so many guides like for new players. We don't really have that in Guild Wars 2 PvP
In-game.
in-game guides. And also, like, there's no motivation because the difference between the top 50 players, or let's say top 75, and the rest of the leaderboards is. It sounds weird, but the difference is really, really huge. Because sometimes we meet guys from top 200, and like they are playing like once a month. They can't really win at all, and then we face guys from top 20, and it's suddenly a really, really hard match. And they sometimes even top 80. It's sometimes a really easy match. So the difference, because the player base of the active teams is so small, there's no really like when we played before, like maybe 1.5 years ago, when we faced Boon, which I mentioned before, they were kind of like our enemies because they were on our level, and then we had like teams like TCG or something a little bit on top of us. and like old TCG, I think it was Team Curse, yeah. We kind of had to improve against Team Boon. And when we won against them, we're like, okay, we did this, was the first step, and now we can improve more and like work our way up pretty much. At the moment, you can't really work your way up because you just play and then you're in the top 50. From that on, it's really, really hard to get on the top because then you have teams that really play together since beta or that play the game since like two years or something. And before that, it's really easy to reach the top 50. So yeah. Also, we don't really have monthly tournaments or something or weekly tournaments.
Like
think
Guild
we-
Wars 1, I have to imagine.
Yeah, like in Guild Wars
That
1.
was awesome.
And
was really
beside
awesome.
ESL, of course.
That is all, of course.
Yeah.
And we need just more motivation to play. I think in the interview with TCG, they said it already that we need some cash rewards, or not we especially, but like people need cash rewards because then they are like, okay, we can practice, and it like the more teams we get, the more teams want to play because they see that they can aim for something. Because at the moment, no team is playing because whenever we play, we either face no known team at all. We just play 5 matches without focusing and winning them. Then, or we just play against Shut and then they go offline. We also have to stop playing because there's no other thing. Also, seasons and ladders would be awesome because, like, team leaderboards. So you have to work as a team. Like Guild Wars 1 was about your guild and your team. Guild Wars 2 is like more individual. You have your individual solo queue leaderboards and team leaderboards. Leaderboards don't actually name the team. Name the single player, so it's not really team oriented, and that's what I really miss about Guild Wars 2 at the moment.
Right. So you're saying that even though there's leaderboards, it's still very much based on one player in the team. It's not, you can't see
Exactly,
what
yeah.
team they represent, like the guild at least. There's no guild representation there.
Yeah, I mean some people did it when leaderboards came out. They named themselves like we did, like TFL, Sensotic Elementary, for example,
Or a Boon Emperor.
a Boon Emperor, or
Yeah.
I think you didn't name yourself.
I
But yeah.
had a Boon character.
You had a Boon
yes.
character?
It was
Okay.
Necromancer
Oh,
a
okay.
few years
Sorry.
ago. Yeah. I tested a few classes.
Oh, okay. Anyways, yeah, but like since people are swapping teams a lot at the moment because they're quitting, people are coming back. So there are not very many organized teams. Can't really say that. Okay, that's for example, like best example, Team Boon. There's no like there's 4 players of Team Boon. We're still looking for a 5th. We have been pugging for maybe 8 months now or something.
Yeah.
Same with TCG, they just reformed, then they got Sizer, then I think Rom was playing with 4 different teams in the past couple of months, so main problem I see here.
And they've got 4 as well. They haven't got they're
Exactly.
missing one. So 2 of the top
Exactly.
teams in Guild Wars 2 don't even have a full roster. That's one
Just
problem. Yeah.
split up Astron and Mortress. You get Mortress, they get Astron. So we have 2
You've got some good
top teams
pugs.
full.
You've got
Yeah, we
some
got some
good
really good pugs, yeah.
You've got some good
Yes.
pugs at least. So that's one thing. It's just that's it. It's getting that motivation, like you said, to keep playing every day. And like you've gone to another game, which is fine. It's cool. Like
I'm actually
you want
not, I
some
didn't
competition.
switch to Dota 2, I'm still playing like Guild Wars 2 main.
Yeah,
I'm still
yeah, of
making
course.
videos and-
But you're playing, but you want to play to get some competition and stuff because you want to have that feeling of that motivation, like you said. And there's stuff in the game itself. I don't play Dota 2 that much. I played it a little bit, but a couple of years ago, but not too much. But you're saying there's guides, like in the game, like you can actually see how to play. There's tips and stuff, and it's friendly to new players, like you said. And there's so many people playing that game that you can jump in and you can be against like another person who's new, rather than I've won 2 or 3 games in Team Q and now I'm against the top 50, like you kind of
Exactly, and
said.
that's one of the main problems because the player base is so small. Like if the player base increase, so much better. Like the more players we get into PvP, the better we'll get. So yeah, of
And it
And-
has increased a little bit.
course. Yeah.
And from my point of view, I think like the game overall is fine right now. It's just the rewards and the competition. And I think the problem is like with new players, I can really imagine how hard it would be like now joining the game with like being new, maybe being new to MMORPGs. Okay, so to bring that out. And like competitive PvP, because it was my first game I was playing competitive PvP. And for me in the beginning was really hard, but right now I'm used to it, and I think like with all the keybinds and like dodging skills, knowing all the skills, and if you don't really have guides, like if you don't really have guides beside maybe YouTube Sensotics, for example, or other streamers, so you have nothing in this game. Like in Dota 2, if you start a game, you have in-game guides, which is pretty helpful. Like I'm really horrible in Dota 2, but I really got better, like in only a week, because I had in-game guides, YouTube guides, massive YouTube guides, and yeah, that really lacks, like Guild Wars lacks a lot of these kind of things.
Yeah,
But
but that's also point of the community. The community is very small,
yeah,
and
true.
in it must do something.
Yeah,
Good point.
it's more about friend list. Like if you have a big friend list, you can really play Guild Wars 2. But if you like know nobody in this game, you really have a hard time finding a team and playing Team Q. That's the problem.
So true. That's a really good point, actually, because it's the same. I look at the kind of the forums as well, the Guild Wars 2 forums, and there's 3 forums. There's one looking for group, there's one events, and then there's one SPVP forum which has got everything on it. I think that's kind of almost one way, it could be maybe bettered, I guess, so people can communicate in smaller groups, I suppose. I don't know if that's something maybe that if anyone's kind of looked at, but even the events forum isn't really looked at too often. But you're right about that. You're right about the friends list. I log into the game personally. I log in and I think, oh, who do I want to play with? And I'm like, I've got a list of people, but I'm a shoutcaster. I know all these guys. I have to know these guys. I have to know you guys. But yeah, I get your point about new players. It must be really tough for those guys, especially with what Ventari said, talking about all the keybinds, all the different moves, and there's a big, massive difference between World v World, PvP, and PvE. There is a massive difference in stats, in the way you play, in the way you build your character, and the way you communicate. And I don't think many people actually know that when they go into SPVP. They kind of think on their own, and solo queue doesn't really promote a team atmosphere too well, unfortunately. I'm going to ask a question which someone just asked in the chat. They asked in a roundabout way. I'll just kind of round it up. What kind of game modes would you guys like to see brought into Guild Wars 2?
Yeah, like got the courtyard map. I think having like a deathmatch mode in solo queue would be awesome, because it doesn't require rotation skills, and I think there are a lot of mechanically skilled players out there. So deathmatch would be awesome because they don't have to rotate, which is kind of a team. Like if you get into a team with 3 in solo queue and the enemy has like a super bunkerish team, it's really hard to win, especially when your teammates can't rotate properly because they're new to the game, which is, that's understandable. So I think having deathmatch in solo queue first, and yeah, guild versus guild or something like that. Yeah, of course, deathmatch is pretty much would be awesome for the game. Not maybe in team queue yet. Just test it in solo queue how people like it and on private servers. And make some events with deathmatch on some maps, like just create maps like Courtyard and promote them in different tournaments, and I think the game better. But having deathmatch in Guild Wars 2 is also like the biggest problem is like they are trying to balance the game around PvP and World versus World, and if we get deathmatch, smaller arenas, some really, really terrible builds or cheesy builds will come up and will hit the builds again, and yeah, but this will pretty much always happen. Yeah, it's hard, like you can't really implement the World versus World kind of deathmatch thing into smaller group fights like SPVP without having to rebalance the skills. They have to split the game if they want to deathmatch, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's the problem, because the game just is based around capturing points, and if you even have to split between PvE, World versus World, and PvP, and if you split PvP up as well, like in deathmatch and like decapping points, and that's another thing. I think it won't be possible. I mean, it's possible for private arenas, but not for competitive plays, because I think it's good that the game is based around things like that. Yep.
Okay, well, so you think that maybe the conquest mode maybe makes it more watchable or more like team orientated, I guess. So that you, like you just said, it feels more like competitive, I suppose.
Yeah, and I
Whereas-
think it feels more like winning. Like at the moment, I like the mid and the whole game. Like when you win right now, it feels more like winning because some months ago it was like bunkering, and you don't like the game was over and you were like, oh, it's over. I didn't really recognize that. And that's the thing, and yeah, and that's the thing about the conquest mode as well. And overall, because conquest mode just feels more like winning, like bringing people down, and getting the point is always motivating, I think.
So you feel quite good when you've killed some guys and then you've actually capped the point. It's like King of the Hill, I guess, in a way as well, isn't it? It's like, yeah,
Totally.
I've just beaten this guy off the point. Yeah, it just brings in that kind of third factor, doesn't it? It's like you've got, not only have you got to worry about killing this guy, you've also got to worry about the point, whether or not it's capped, whether or not it's contested, and it really does bring in a new element. And I would like to see a deathmatch mode for like those smaller like 2v2s, 3v3s, or maybe the guild versus
Yeah,
guilds,
agree.
like someone said in the chat. But yeah, I think in terms of the tournaments and stuff, I kind of like Conquest the way it is. Okay, so I don't know if you wanted to add anything at all, Fake, or if there was any kind of mode you would like to see at all.
Mode. Well, in Guild Wars 1, I very like the team arena.
Uh-huh.
Yes, there was a team arena with 4 people. Yeah, they set up, and with that, you had to beat team after team after team after team till you got beaten once. And after that, you have to start again. Everyone got counted, and for example, after 5 wins, you got points for your rank, and also faction points, which were there to buy, for example, skills or skins, or for example, auch Seishin keys, which are you were able to sell or sell them or
Okay.
get some new stuff about that out of the session chest. The team arena, for example, or the HA, Heroes Ascent, which is a team mode formed. Okay, it's sadly not possible to build something like HA or Guild versus Guild from the Guild Wars 1, from the former one, in the Guild Wars 2, because of the mechanics and also the it's Guild Wars 2 is way more fluid and way more faster than Guild Wars 1 was, and sadly it's not possible to build that in here, I think, at least.
Okay, so I like that, because I'll be honest, I didn't play Guild Wars 1. I think I played Guild Wars 1 for about half an hour. I didn't play it, so but
No
the
problem.
description you gave was good of that, because sounds like an awesome thing to do. Like you're in the team queue, and you keep winning and winning, and then eventually you come up against another team that's got to the same position. Is that kind of right? So they've won 4 games, you've maybe won 4 games. And then, you come up against each other, and it's like... Is that kind of the way, what you're saying?
Kind of. Sometimes there are several teams which are able to win, let's say, 25 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And after, and maybe they meet each other, maybe they are not meeting each other because their matches are ending in a different time.
Yeah, of
And
course.
because of that, they get another team, and maybe they get beaten off from those guys, or maybe from the team which are is way more long in the queue. The other 25 win team, for example, as
Oh.
mentioned.
One thing that I just want to throw in here is, I don't know, I'm not sure if it's possible, but I think having P as a separate game would be awesome for the game. Like selling, because there are not a lot of people that, like, when I talk to people about Guild Wars 2, they're like, I don't like PvE, just for PvP, I don't know, I don't want to buy this game. Just so selling or giving away PvP in Guild Wars 2 for free, and getting the money by the gem, like over the gem store, for example, be awesome, because then we get a lot of players into PvP that haven't even bought the game yet, and because of this, and you will see a lot of new teams. They will eventually practice and grow. So yeah, having like it as an like having 2 or 3 developers just for PvP, just for this game, would be awesome. Because I think at the moment the PvP, not sure if I'm right, but even the PvP developers are like working together with the PvE developers. They're setting things up together. So having 2 or 3 guys focusing on the game in PvP alone would be awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's even possible, but I think that would be really awesome for the game. Splitting the game
Yeah,
completely.
true. And the next thing is what I really find I don't know, what I really don't like is that they try to like try to have PvE and PvP more together, closer to each other. Because like right now, if you win PvP, you get PvE rewards. I really don't play PvE. I've tried PvE and I have a rank 80 character, but I stopped PvE and started PvP. And right now, I really don't get PvP rewards. It's more like I get PvE rewards. Like they want to force me to play PvE or to play PvP to get PvE rewards, and the other way around. And I think it's just another aspect of the game, and they should keep it like that. I think they shouldn't mix it up, to be honest.
See, I think that's interesting to see actually, because a lot of people think it the other way around, but they don't really ask the PvPers what they think about that, because not many people think that. But you're right, in a way it's like you don't want to play PvE, but what am I getting? What am I actually getting out of this? It's like I'm not getting anything. I'm getting stuff that I can get gold for, but I'm not getting anything for PvP. I'm getting stuff for PvE, like a look or something like that. At the end of the day, alright, it's nice to have it, but you want to have something that says, you know, I'm a good player, or like a ranking or something like that. Or
Like,
I don't
best
know.
example for that is actually like when the patch came out where you could get your legendaries into PvP. Like all the PvP players that were there like from the start had like the super, not crappy, but the super standard PvP gear. And then the PvE players came into PvP with the legendaries, their ascended armor skins and everything. Then,
bad.
yeah,
Yeah. It's really
That day.
annoying, to be honest, because
Very
we
sad
played
day.
PvE all the time, and we weren't looking that awesome like they do. And I mean, in the end, it doesn't matter how you look, but
It does.
it's
In Guild Wars 2, I mean, you can admit it. I like the way my character looks in this PvP.
Yeah, of course.
I don't care what anyone says. I do like it, and I think a lot of people do. They don't like to admit it, but I think they actually do. Guild Wars 2 is a weird game like that. You do like your player to look quite cool, especially if
Yeah, of
you're on the
course.
ESL. If you're on the ESL weekly and you're playing like on average for like an hour and a half or something, with the amount of games, you just want to look cool, you know? You've got people who are looking up to you as players. You want to look good. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
true.
that.
Another good point, like when you play PvP and you get, I don't know how many games, it should be like you can really, I don't know how to say, to get your rank shown, your level place
Oh, yeah.
shown, but it's not something you get like just by playing PvP. It should be like something you have to unlock. You have to unlock with like playing amount of games, and then you reach, I don't know, top 500 or something, and you or more like champion titles. It's like Champion Phantom, for example. It's 150 games. It's if there is a title for, I don't know, 500 necro games, you can really tell if this but for example for Team Q only, you can really tell, okay, this is a good player, or he has more experience than others. But right now everybody has a Champion Phantom title or Champion, I don't know, everything
Yeah, for
title.
example.
It doesn't take
That's the
much,
problem.
does it? 150 games
Yeah.
is nothing. You're right. It really
And
is
title
nothing.
isn't something hard to get implemented in the game, and it's something that really motivates people. Because in the beginning, I really wanted to get Champion Phantom, and that motivated me a lot.
Yeah,
And
back in the days,
yeah, back in the days.
there were
And
people were searching for champion titles to get their full roster to play with, because
true.
they knew those people are very good players.
Really? Oh, wow.
yeah, of course.
That's
Yes.
cool.
In the very beginning.
Yeah, back in the
Back in the
days.
beginning.
Wow,
days.
so that would motivate you. So because it motivated me. I wanted Champion Genius for I think it was my engineer.
course.
Of course. It's like
Yeah.
if there is a title for, I don't know, 500 Necro games, or maybe something more specific, like if you have like corrupt, I don't know, 5,000 boons with your Necro, for example, in
Yeah.
Team Q, then you know, okay, maybe he has got that title. It's more like this kind of Necro, or maybe, I don't know, summon, I don't know, 500 minions in PvP or something like that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
like more specific.
Okay.
You can really tell what kind of build is he playing the most of the time. Something you can show to other people in the Heart of the Mist or generally in the game.
This is a really good idea, man. Good idea. That is a solid idea. I like it. Because that would really, like, so specific that you can tell, like you said, exactly what that person's kind of doing as well. So they've kind of gone off on such a route that not even many people would have that title. And you're just like, all right, that guy, watch out for that guy. He's like the master corruptor or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
especially like, if you're playing one class, the leaderboards, like, say top 50, and then a title, for example, if you play Necro a certain amount of games in the leaderboards and you activate your title, it should show like he's fourth best player, like the fourth best ranked player in EU. Or for example, like if I play Thief, Shout plays Thief, Sizer plays Thief, and Chosen Sin plays Thief, for example, and Sizer wants to show that he's currently the ranked, the number one ranked Thief in EU, for example. Boards.
Yeah,
Or
there
something
should be
like that.
something like we can really tell it. For instance, like when I go in the Heart of the Mist and people don't know me, it's like okay, and as I say something and they don't know me, it's like they don't really take me for like they don't really take me seriously because they don't know who I am. And like I play Necro since beta, and when I tell them, you can do that with Necro,
They
they're
don't-
like, oh, how do you know? Are you sure?
Yeah,
Like you
that's
like
it.
they don't know if I'm experienced or not.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
because
of
the leaderboards are on a website and not in-game. We need
Yeah, of course.
leaderboards in-game, or like for example, you can unlock your showing your leaderboard rank next to your character's name, for example. Because I know it's kind of like skill boost, but that's like why you play PvP. I know it sounds weird, but like you want to be better, you want to be more experienced, you want to show that you have reached something, and that's what Guild Wars 2 is missing.
Yeah, I agree. I do 100%
Want to
agree.
separate yourself from other
Yeah,
players.
exactly.
That's the main part. Like I want to show that I'm a better Necro than somebody else, for example.
I think maybe like even when you're saying about, when you're kind of wandering around, it's that kind of recognition, you want that recognition for the amount of time you've put in and the fact that you are playing, in ESL weekly cups and stuff like that and like official tournaments. I mean, it's like, I guess, in the PAX tournament, they gave Car Crash those kind of unique trophy finishers, that only
Exactly.
5 people
that's
have.
awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that is so good, and no one else is going to have that ever. There's only those 5 guys, and
Yeah.
if they all never play again, we will never see that again, and that is unique. That is very
Yeah.
cool.